We are on the grid, ready to go racing. The lights are about to come on here at Silverstone National, and we are away to go racing. For the second last round of the season, the first of two races, more connection issues there for Stu McFadden. Tucks in to hold on to that second place. They're all into Cobb's Corner, side by side though. Cloughy and Pauly, that is also dangerous on the first corner there, but I tell you what, Clough trying to hang it round the outside. He's done a great job, 3 wide going into that corner there. Predictable contact, and well, you play silly games, John, and you get silly prizes. Oh my lord, I heard all those words about Chris Pauly. I've got to be honest, none of them registered because I'm too busy watching what on earth is going on here with Stu McFadden, Will Foulkes and Adam Barn right now. This is an epic scrap for the lead of this race. It's a 3-car fight right now. Don't discount Luke Arpino because the way these three are fighting out, he is going to get brought into the mix as well. Have a look at Will Foulkes there. He's learned his lesson, has Stu McFadden round into the left-hander for the third time of asking. Have a look at Adam Barn. Up the inside there goes Will Foulkes into the lead of the race again. Oh my goodness me, this is topsy-turvy stuff. Swings and roundabouts, folks, swings and roundabouts. Stu McFadden tries to go up the inside. Foulkes has to give him a tiny little bit of room, and yet again they come across the line side by side. This is amazing racing here, John. Big collision further back. Jez Banks, Adam Waters, and I believe that is Steve Ward caught in that as well. McFadden goes to the outside, and there goes Will Foulkes again up the inside here. This is just mayhem, and there's Luke Arpino. It's in a 4-car, 5-car, 6-car battle for the lead here, and we're less than a third of the way into the race. Stu Etic has come into a collision there further back in the field. He's dropping down the order. That now moves Chris Pauly up into P15, so he's making his way up here, but my goodness me, this is just it's like mainlining adrenaline right now. This race is just, this is probably one of the best races we've had this season. 5-car fight for the lead, 6-car fight for the lead. Let's go.
And well, it looks like Chris Pauly has now made it to 8th, so he's now well into the top 10. Here we go. Oh, it was Chris Slater, wasn't it? It was, oh dearie me. He seemed to edge his way right across the track.
Yeah, that looks like a slam dunk case there, but again, that's up to the stewards to decide that one. Goodness me, that was I feel kind of robbed by that, if I'm honest, because the amazing fighting that we were having going on there.
It was a great fight. Will Foulkes very happy with himself there.
And there we go, comes round the final corner. It's going to be a race win for Will Foulkes. Stu McFadden takes second place. Adam Barn is just going to finish in third, with Chris Slater in fourth position. Dan Berris in fifth. Ollie Wayne in sixth position. So, John, listen, that was a manic race, but I'll be honest with you, I think there's going to be a lot of scores to settle in this second race here. Confirmation there, Will Foulkes takes the win from Stu McFadden there. Adam Barn in third position, Chris Slater in fourth, Dan Berris in fifth, Ollie Wayne in sixth, Ryan Abbott in seventh, Jez Banks in eighth position, Chris Pauly finishing in P9. That is going to have huge championship implications, but we'll double check that as soon as we can. Let's go racing. We are ready to go then. Just waiting for the lights to come on. Here we go then. The lights are on the Canterbury Bridge for the final time tonight. It's a great start for Ollie Wayne. Great start for Dan Berris as well. They're going to be going side by side. And look at Dan Berris. Look at Stu McFadden trying to make moves up the inside there as Dan Berris takes the lead going into Cobb's Corner. We've got 4 cars going a little bit further back there. I think that was Cloughy, Hardwick involved in the background there. So they've all managed to get through it. Stu McFadden up to P6 just now as we're still going 3 wide in the first corner. Clearly we've not learned anything from the first race here, John, and I've got to be honest, I'm pretty close to having an aneurysm here with all the stress. Yeah, and this is the thing that we have to keep an eye on. Chris Pauly in that 5th position, side by side. Round the outside goes Darren Berris to try, Will Foulkes to try and take that position, from Dan Berris. I think he's got it done. They're still side by side as they're going to come up through Maggots and then through into that right-hander to go onto the national loop here. back onto the Wellington Straight. This is an absolute dogfight. Look at the run that Chris Polly has got. He's going to try and take at least 2 cars here. What a run from Chris Polly, your championship protagonist here. Tucks in behind Adam Barron as Will Foulkes jumps back to the lead, and Dan Beres trying to make moves here. This is just an epic start to the race. 2 minutes in already, and you get the feeling that there's a lot of pressure here as firing up the inside there. I get the feeling that was Stu McFadden up the inside of Ollie Wayne there. We'll get an idea on that just very shortly. Indeed it was, as Ollie Wayne gets into that 6th position here. So Chris Paul...
Will Foulkes is maintaining and just increasing his lead, 2.3 seconds now, so he's just keeping out of trouble at the front there, and let the fun and games go on behind him.
Certainly is. So, and that's off the inside. I did say somebody's going off to the pit lane, and that looks like it's Ollie Wayne who has volunteered himself so selflessly to remove himself from that battle there. We'll see the replay, see if there was a little bit of a helping hand, a little bit of assistance there. He doesn't look like, Stu doesn't look like he's going to be making any inroads into that fight for 2nd position here. Let's have a look what happened with Ollie Wayne. Yeah, a little bit of contact from that car behind, and that pushes the car into the barrier. That is, I think that might be, was that Luke Arpino? Actually, Luke's further down, yeah. Cluffy, that's not a name that we normally see associated with being involved in incidents, is it? Well, not causing incidents, rather.
But if you're Chris Pauly, you're not bothered about it exciting. You just want to hang on in there and get those points.
You certainly do, as McFadden breaks earlier to try and tempt Adam Barn to go around the outside there. Barn is just sliding that car around left, right and centre, tries to fire it up the inside, forces a little bit of room for himself there. Stu McFadden having absolutely nothing of it, gets a little bit of a run there, and that gap is now 6/10 of a second here, with just 1 minute and 45 seconds left to go in the 2nd round of the penultimate round to the BFBS AFVRC Championship. What a season we have had here. It is setting itself up to be an absolute humdinger next week at Donington. Nonetheless, 15 minutes have ticked over here at Silverstone. We come round the final couple of corners. It's a very, very happy Will Foulkes who's going to come across the line to win tonight's race number 2, as Chris Pauly is going to come across the line in 2nd position. That secures him as your leader in the championship by my estimates there. Stu McFadden in 3rd position, Adam Barron in 4th, Michael Clough in 5th position. And granted, we had a couple of little niggles there, but I think that was actually a much cleaner race too there. And what a championship it has been then. Confirmation for the penultimate rounds of the BFBS Armed Forces Virtual Race Challenge. Will Foulkes takes the win in race number 2. Chris Pauly in 2nd place. Stu McFadden in P3. Then in P4 it's Adam Barron. Michael Clough in P5. Ryan Abbott's in P6 with Luke Arpino in 7th position.
And there is the championship. So maybe you can go through that for us, Doug.
Right, so there's where I was getting a little bit out of it, was the 3 drop rounds. So Chris Pauly then 14 points. That's still not a kick in the teeth away from that championship lead right now then. So Ryan Martin, as it stood before the drop rounds, was going to be in 2nd place by 1 point, but either way, Chris Pauly now just 14 points off the lead of that championship.